Hi everyone, my name is Yulia. Maybe some of you don't know me. Sergey introduced me already. Mostly my job is online. I consult people all around the world, mostly Russian speakers. I don't have a very good English, so work with Russian speakers, but here everyone will understand me. Those people who don't know Russian, you have translation. Just check everything works. Today we will speak on a very interesting topic, how to get rid of negative emotions. Is it interesting to you? You can go through this QR code that you see and see the notes and all the scriptures with translation. I'm gonna drink a lot because I'm a bit nervous. Emotions. Anxiety is also an emotion. It will be seen outwardly. Dryness in the mouth, sweatiness in your palms, but we're going to talk about it a bit later. Who is dreaming about letting rid of negative emotions? Who are sick of them? Who wants to get rid of them? Amazing. Let's talk about it. Who thinks that there are good emotions and bad emotions? Who thinks like that? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Give me an example of a good emotion. Joy, okay. Sadness, is it a good one? Okay. Who knows other names of good emotions? Good emotions. Oh, interesting. Okay. Calmness. Laughter is not an emotion. No? Two emotions, awe and joy. Let's talk about negative emotions. Give me an example of negative emotions. Pastor, why are you telling all the answers? Allow people to answer. Fear, sadness, anger, jealousy, offense. Okay, offense. How easily it is for us to say negative emotions. Good job. Let's go, move forward. Who have noticed that God also experiences emotions when he reads the Bible? Have you noticed? Good. I prepared for you a couple of scriptures that we may look at. Okay? So, first scripture is Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. Notice that here, with yellow color, we highlighted emotions. There are 4 emotions that are positive. Joy, delight, singing. God experiences a lot of positive emotions. Let's go forward in scriptures. The book of Ezekiel 38:18. This is what will happen in that day when God attacks the land of Israel. My hot anger will be aroused, declares the sovereign Lord. In my zeal and fury wrath I declare that in that time there shall be a great earthquake in the land of Israel. Another 4 emotions we see in 2 verses: anger, zeal, wrath. Is it positive or negative emotions? Who is experiencing them? God. And he says in first, he talks about himself, I will do that, I will feel that. Next scripture, we're moving towards New Testament. We know these when Jesus was experiencing for himself inner processes. Let's move to a different slide. We will have Matthew 26, verse 37. He took Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Look at the kind of emotions Jesus is going through. Sorrow and trouble and sorrow to the point of death. It's probably the highest form of sorrow. And Jesus experienced it. God, Jesus himself living on earth. It's kind of, we have this dissonance in our head how God can experience sorrow to the point of death. You tell me, how to understand that? Does God have problems with emotions? I'm asking a silly questions. We cannot say that God has a problem with emotions, but nonetheless, we see that he experiences negative emotions. So why then, when we experience negative emotions, we say we have a problem with emotions? It's a question that you can think about. God is an entity that feels, and we are created in his image, also having feelings. Same emotions that God experiences, we experience too. And the problem is not in the experience of emotions. It's not what we feel on the inside, anxiety or fear. That's not the problem. Or maybe when I feel anger and wrath, that's not the problem. The problem is a bit later when we try to wrongly express that emotions, what we do with those emotions. And that's what we're going to talk about later. Do you agree? Okay, thank you for being responsive. As an example, a very loved verse is, "When you're angry, do not sin." You probably know it by heart. Let the sun not set upon your anger. Let's look at this verse. It doesn't say do not get angry. Does it say that anger is bad and that is sin? What is it? What is written? What we should do when we get angry, not to sin. So the Bible directly says being angry is normal. You will get angry, but when you will get angry, please do not sin. Okay? Let's put some conclusion into place. Emotions are a God-given gift to us, and it's his system that is built into our psyche from the beginning. We're born like that with all the emotions. Second thing, emotions reflect what is going on with us. There are not bad or good emotions. All emotions are neutral. It's like all colors, black, blue, green, yellow. Is any of them are bad? No, they're all different. Our emotions are neutral. Some of them might be uncomfortable for us to experience or hard for us to experience, but it doesn't mean they're bad. It's very important to acknowledge that. Feeling anger, annoyment, irritation, it's not a sin. I just want you to acknowledge that and let that sink in. It's not a sin. If you're feeling right now irritation, Yulia is so irritating, don't worry, you're not sinning, okay? But if you get up on stage and hit me with your leg, that's when you sin. So the moment of experiencing the emotion, it's not a sin. Who felt a relief from hearing that? Thank you. Amazing. So I reached my goal already. It's very important because a lot of people are feeling guilty and shame and weight that I've sinned again, and I was irritated again. My children don't listen to me and I got angry and I am a sinful person. So this is not a sin, okay? Let's move on. It's gonna be real fun now. I want to show you a little picture. It is written, I've seen people from the same point of view, but what you are telling is truly disturbing. I know people from the same point that you have. What you are saying sounds disturbing, says the chair to the toilet seat. It's a very bright picture, and you can kind of discuss it from different points. But right now, we will talk a bit about poop. This topic for me right now, it's a bit weird because my child is 5 years old right now, and everything for him is poop. And if he's angry at me, he says, "Mom, you're a poo-poo," and stuff like that. So I hear about poop a lot, but I think it's gonna illustrate very well for you how to deal with your emotions. Let's move to a different picture, and I want to compare the emotional system with the digestive system. We will stop at this picture. Everyone knows the digestive system. We place food in our mouth, we kind of chew it, then it goes down into our stomach. And I'm not going to talk about all the other parts of the body that work. It kind of digests there, it's going to move a bit lower. All the parts of the stomach, everything digests in there, kind of takes out all the nutrients and everything that is not needed. Our body does what? It kind of puts it out. Okay? All this process takes us a couple of hours. It's different for everyone, but a couple of hours between eating from here to there, okay, it's a couple of hours. Good. With the digestive system, we understood what is going on. Let's talk about our psyche system, the system of emotions. Let's look at the different picture. What is written here? What is shown here? It's neurons. It's the system of neurons, how they're connected chemically, physically. I'm not going to go into that, but it's very interesting. We're going to look at how the emotional process is happening. It's the system of reflex that happens in our physiology, but it's the same for the nervous system. There is a hand that touches a cactus. What we feel when we touch a needle, it's pain. What happens next? Usually, you got stung by something. How fast do you move your hand away? A couple of seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Immediately, a half a second goes by from when you touch and when you remove your hand from the source of pain. What truly happens in our neurological system? There is an irritant. There is a mediator that receives all of that. Then it goes through the neurons to your spinal brain, and from then there is a signal to the brain, and from that there is a signal that leads through act to a movement neuron that gives a command to our muscles to shorten themselves and to pull the hand back. It's like what a long path, but it happens in a split second. And it's very similar to the path that happens to food through your digestive system. Something happens and it goes out, or something happens and there is a reaction. Is it clear? Did I kind of overwhelm you? You can remove the picture. The path of emotion we have seen on this picture. Let's talk about emotions, specifically anger or fear. I call it, there are external and internal irritants or triggers. If a dog attacks you, or maybe your child doesn't listen to you, you feel anger. And there are inner irritants or triggers. You thought about something, you remembered something unpleasant, and you automatically are experiencing an emotion, something on the inside. So external irritant and internal one. The signal gets into your brain and is processed, and then there is a hormone that is released, and then we feel an emotion. So let's say fear when a dog attacks you, or irritability when a child is not listening to you, or worry when someone is not answering you. Everything happens all at once. You have external visual effects. Your palms get sweaty, maybe your fists get tightened, or your jaw, your heartbeat raises, and we react. The last thing is a reaction. What kind of reaction can we have on a dog? I yell. You just yell. A dog. And then I jump back. When a child doesn't listen to you, what your reaction? Oh, you're boiling with anger. What are you doing? You yell at them. Some actions, some words are said. We can fight, we can yell, we can curse, or maybe we can just hold it in, hold it back. There are a million versions of reactions. Looking at this path, on which step on this path we can sin? On the reaction. On the last step of this path. When we feel emotions, it's somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle of the path that I have written out. Feeling these emotions is not a sin, right? Okay, so another conclusion. To consider certain emotions bad and trying to depress them or to get rid of them, it's the same as thinking that part of a digestive system is a wrong one and trying to get rid of it or to change it. And I mean a part of the digestive system that is responsible for taking out the thing outside. The process is not very comfortable. It sometimes smells bad, or let's say I don't want to hold in all those little poo-poos. I might take a pill that will stop this whole process from happening. I will never poop. What will happen to you? Actually, death. Because everything that will not leave your body, it will eventually blow up in you and will kill you. So you cannot remove this function from your body. But why do we do the same thing with our emotions? We say, no, I don't like to feel anger. I don't like to feel irritated. I have to depress it and destroy it and to remove it forever and to never feel it again. Do we say that? Do we want, dream, desire it? So, a conclusion, if we do not allow excrements to leave our body on time, we will have serious health problems, even unto death. With emotions, if we do not allow emotions to leave us on time, we will also have problems, but psychological and also physical problems. Psychosomatics and things like that, it's a big topic. Next. An example. Excrement should live out of us. It has to go regularly out. But there is a but. It's a very simple but when we talk about that, about poo. They have to go in a special place where nobody sees you, when nobody touches you, and not at the moment that you felt the calling to do so. Let's say you feel like you wanna take a poo-poo. You don't just sit down and do that. You hold it in, you wait, you're patient, and or maybe you leave if you have the opportunities to release yourself. But you're not doing it on yourself. Forgive me for my language. Thank you, Alessia. I wanted to say that only children do that hasn't had their central nervous system developed that is responsible for this. So up to a certain age, children cannot control their physiology because of the lack of development in their systems. Parents can teach them how to do it, but it will not happen before a certain age. It's the same with emotions. Emotions should be let out regularly, but in a special place and time, maybe in the same place. It's very possible. And not at the same moment you are feeling that emotion. Do you understand that? So if your child is annoying you and he's not listening to you and you're boiling with anger, and in this moment you're starting to yell at him, and I don't know, it's not his problem, it's your problem. You have pooped on yourself at that moment. That's your problem. If you are overwhelmed with emotions, you have to do the same thing you are doing with your pee-pee and your poo-poo. You have to hold it in, leave at a certain place, and let those emotions out. Even if it's your child, you can leave into the bedroom, close yourself, take a pillow, put it onto your mouth, and yell. And not on the child, or to hit the pillow, maybe if you need that. A question? There are also if you are upset with someone or you are disappointed in someone, you shouldn't go around and talk about it and turn it into gossip. But it is important to talk about your emotions. Thank you for this question. I wanted to say something about it and I forgot. So letting go emotions. When we want to the toilet, we can tell someone, I'm sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. There is nothing shameful about it, right? We calmly say that to people and go to the toilet. No one is shaming us. The same with emotion. You can say, you know, right now I'm angry. I'm so angry right now when I'm hearing what you're saying to me, but you're not starting to yell at a person. So you say, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna calm down if you cannot control your emotions, and you let them out. With disappointment, it's important to talk it out. You can talk about it with the person that disappointed you, or you can talk to to a close, trusted face. Maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're a psychologist, maybe a really good person that you can trust. Did I answer your question? A good exit out of the situation is to say what you're feeling right now. Experiment right now. Let's say I'm irritated right now. You will notice how even the level of the irritation you're feeling will go down. So words are a good solution. I'm gonna answer the question that we asked in the beginning. How can you get rid of negative emotions? You cannot. There is no way to do that. Do you feel disappointment? And we will talk about it. So what do we do with them? Let me run quickly. A wrong attitude towards emotions, it would be ignore, depress, pour them out on people. If we kind of gather them and let them collect and grow bigger and bigger and bigger. No, I'm not going to say that now. I'm going to say that tomorrow. And then he did something wrong again. And then a week later, he just sneezed at the wrong moment and you just going to go at him for the whole week. That's a wrong attitude towards emotions. What would be a right attitude towards emotions? I can talk for a long time about it, but time is short. Right, it's acknowledge your emotion. You're boiling. Just answer yourself. What am I feeling right now? I am angry. I am tired. I am sad. I want to be hugged. Answer yourself that question of what am I feeling. Allow yourself to feel. It is normal. Tell yourself, I am okay. I'm not sinning right now. At this point, I'm not sinning yet. I'm just feeling this emotion. And later, you call that emotion. You give it a name. You acknowledge it. And it's the most important thing is just to say it out loud. It's the most important thing. You give ownership to that emotion. So it's not this child is annoying me, but I am annoyed and irritated. And it's my responsibility to decide what I'm going to do with that emotion right now. Because in most cases, we put that responsibility on a different person. You said something wrong. You offended me. But it's not him who offended you. It's you got offended. It's taking responsibility. It's you are angering me and irritating me. No, you are getting angry and you are irritated. It's very important. Once you take ownership and responsibility for your emotions, only then you will be able to control them. Because if you move responsibility, you offended me, you got me angry, then you have to comfort me now, right? You kind of justify yourself, but it's your responsibility and only yours, and only then you will be able to control your anger. If I'm angry, if I'm irritated, if I'm feeling that, what am I gonna do with those emotions? I'm gonna tell you everything I think about you, or I'm gonna go to some distant place and calm myself down. I wanna share a golden rule. Pill. A medicine for that. You can express your emotions in all ways, except those ways that can harm you, the people around you, or things. All other ways are good. If you're very angry, and if you want to go and punch a wall, who are you going to hurt? yourself, you'll probably hurt your hand. Or maybe you'll punch a person that kind of helped for that emotion to arise. It will be a sin against that person. Or maybe with anger you will break a phone. There are people who will throw phones at the wall. Then you will ruin property. And all the other ways are possible and good. You want to hit something good. You can hit your pillow. You can hit some, I don't know, your a boxing bag. And I want to give you a couple of ways to let steam go. Different ways. They're not in according to importance or anything, just different ways. Being alone, that's what calms me. I've realized that about myself during quarantine when I would wash the dishes and my husband would speak to me and I would be like, I'm just gonna hit him right now. And he would be like, what is wrong with you? And like, I'm irritated, and he'll be like, who's responsible for that? Like, nobody. I'm just sick of sitting in those four walls. So I would go and I'll take a walk and pray, and I'll be calm and okay, but I could let that steam off onto my husband, right? So take a pause. Some people like to journal in their diary, or just to journal, or maybe write down what you're feeling right now. I hate him, I am angry, whatever. You can paint those emotions, talk to someone. But again, talk in the right way, in the right person. Or maybe go out for a run like our pastor, 40 kilometers run, 90 kilometers swim, and then you're calm and chill. Am I right, Sergey? You can yell at a secret place. Some people just go to the sea, to the beach, maybe you can go to a place where there are no people and yell and scream. Look for that opportunity. It's very kind of fun and you can do breathing exercises. Just breathe for 10 seconds. You'll see how it calms you down. It works on a physiological level. Maybe listen to music, comforting, calming music, aromatherapy. I know a lot of people do that. It's very popular. People who have more sensitive noses and they like to smell mint or lavender. You have to find your way. You can clean. I know that there are some ladies who like to clean where they're angry. Reading a favorite book, dancing, sleeping. Very good way to calm yourself down is to sleep. It's very important to find your own way, because for someone it's amazing to go out for a run, and someone just needs to lay down in quietness. So you need to find your own way. For you, there might be a different way to calm down than our pastor who runs for 40 kilometers. The safest way for letting out emotions is to let them out before God. I'm not gonna stay here for a while, but I love this topic. There are psalms that you can read. I have them written down. David just pours out his emotions. He wants death for everyone. He wants everyone to die, to be sick, to be torn apart. David writes down scary stuff there. My hair stood up, and I'm like, ooh, David allows himself the favorite of God, huh? But what is the point? What is the conclusion? Who David wrote that to? God. Will God be disappointed or surprised by your emotions? Is there anything He doesn't know? He knows them. If you're going to be quiet and pray very nicely, oh Lord, bless my enemies. May they be happy and blessed. Heal me from that pain. It will not always work. You know when it's going to work? When you're going to tell God exactly how you're feeling, that He may feel the way I feel. And when you're going to pour it all out before God, okay, God, I'm calm. Bless my enemies. Give them wisdom. God will not be surprised or disappointed in your emotions. He will not judge or shame you. He wants and can take away the burden. He wants, and He can do that. And it's not going to kill him, and it's not going to destroy it, but you will be healed by that. So if you pour out all those emotions on a person with all the curses, it can ruin that person. But if you pour it out to God, you will not hurt anyone, and only going to feel better afterwards. How are you feeling, guys? Good? And for the last, Lord, if we're talking about digestive system, eat well. Eat well spiritually. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what is God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Renew your mind. When you're analyzing your emotions, why am I feeling this? You will renew your mind, and then the next time you will not experience the same emotions in those situations. And Philippians 4:8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. That's what you're going to feed your soul with, and that's what's going to get digested and get out in the form of positive emotions, those the emotions that we want to have more of in our lives. Let's pray about our emotional state, about our trust in God, and finish. Dear Lord, I thank you that you created us in your image. I thank you that we are able to feel the same way you are. I thank you that you do not judge us and shame us for our emotions. And I ask you, Lord, teach every one of us to take responsibility for our emotions, to treat them rightly, to express them rightly, and to be a blessing to others. Bless our emotional state. Teach us to control our negative emotions and to be able to fulfill them and to have more positive emotions. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.